Hey everyone, and welcome back to Grounds Family Farm. Inside this box is one of the most unique chickens we have here on the farm. Now you may be asking yourself, how did we get to the end of the video before we got through the beginning? Well, if you remember the last video, I told y'all we're going to go make this coop box. Well, as things would have it, the weather kind of didn't cooperate. It got dark, we had other things to do, and the next thing you know, I am filming, building this thing, and then realized the other video is done. Kimberly's already edited it. She's already put it out. So now we have a video with no opening, and that's why we are here. So we are fixing to show you how we built this brooder box, and we're going to tell you what unique birds we decided to put in it. But you've got to stick around to the end of the video to see that, because they are probably the most unique birds or chickens that we've had here on the farm, because there's just some things about them that no other birds we have here have. They've got some really good qualities. They're also probably one of the most expensive birds we have here on the farm, except for the emus. We paid a lot to get these started. We're hoping to get production ramped up on these, and this is just the start of it, and we're going to explain to you why they are in this style of box rather than just running around free, mainly because we didn't want them to end up like poor Hey. Yeah. But Abby has fallen in love with the rooster here, and she said that he may be even sweeter than what Hey was. So stick around to the end of the video. Let us know what you think, and we hope you enjoy. So slight change of plans. Yesterday, when we got done out with the chicken tractor, we decided to come up here, and as soon as we started heading this way, it came a downpour. My dad said it rained a little over 3 inches in about an hour. Everything was flooded and it was a mess. So Kimberly's at work today, and we're going to see if we can finish this up without her. So I've got a lot of this already built out. I was working on this yesterday off camera while the girls and Kimberly were doing other stuff. So we're going to see if I can get this lined up. What I'm going to do on this is we're going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to have 4 foot, it's 8 foot long. I'm going to have 4 foot of it with wire, and I'm going to have 4 foot with boards. That way we can put their feed and stuff back here, and if they slosh it out, then they can pick it up and eat it rather than it just falling through on the ground. And then I'll need y'all to help me line this up. So about even, okay, hang on, let go for a minute. Let me slide it. Okay, that'll be pretty good. If you'll just hold that right there. Both sides, so it doesn't move. Okay. And then Abs, you back up because this is going to sling sparks that way, I think. Set that one to the side. What? Whatever. It smells good because that's wood burning. I'm running it right along the edge. Okay, we're going to line this one up again. About the same way. Let's go a little bit farther your way. A little bit farther your way, like to the edge. Okay. So that's going to be the pieces for that. Now let's do this. We're going to lay one of these frames up here and go ahead and measure our wire out for it.
Is this how tall it's going to be?
Yes. Well, I mean, that's over the top part, not the off the ground. Yes. But on this, we're just going to go 4 foot with the wire also, and then do boards on the rest to give them an enclosure. So let's just line it up somewhere in there. Okay, so I think now what we can do is probably go ahead and get the air compressor stretched out here. We'll staple this on, we'll staple it on the other one, move these out of the way, put the floor on, screw these down to it, and then we'll have to put wire across the end, and then we'll start putting in the floor. How's that sound? Okay, we got the air compressor out here and set up. Now we're going to get these lined up and probably start at this end. That way I can get it level or flush. Here, watch out, I got to set the... Watch out. Yeah, I just didn't want that pointed at you. And I think the way I cut these, they'll line up better than what they used to. I think that's going to work.
So
Just touch it and let it go. Yeah, like that. Hang on, let me get it lined up first. Okay.
It's a little bit.
Pretty close.
Like, show me which spot.
Try that. Close. Yep, that's pretty tight. One down. Okay.
Same thing?
Hmm?
Same thing on this?
Pretty much. Abs, you want to try? Let me get it lined up first and get us going in the right direction. We're going to do it this way. Here. You just pull the button.
Me?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, pull and let go.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
Wow. Yep. When I'm an old man, we'll start building because I'm old. Yep. Old enough that you can build me a house.
I'm only 11.
So? Let's start with this one, and then we can work out. Let's turn it over this way, though. And it'll try to lay flat. We're going to flip it upside down. You ready? So take it. We're going to stand it up here. Change your grip. Slide it over. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do on this one, we decided to change things up a little bit, and we're going to make this one really short. It's going to be about 5 inches of ground clearance. And the reason is so where the wire is, the grass can grow up through it, and they can still eat grass and bugs without actually being on the ground. But that way, whenever they go to the bathroom and stuff, it still falls through.
Kind of like mine, but a little shorter maybe?
Yes. Plus, it'll be easier to reach inside. Hang on, I got to line that up a little better. Okay. Our other battery had a little bit of charge on it, so we're just going to keep swapping out and go as long as we can. Because I'm ready to get this project done. So now, I think to make it easier, we'll just flip it back over on top of this and put the walls on with it on top. What do you think? Ready? Let's go like this. Slide it over. Nope, not so far. Right there. Perfect. So if you'll go to the other end down there is.
This how tall it's gonna be?
Yeah, why is that not sitting right? Oh, the board's warped. Just hold this end and let me clamp that end down. And then I'll start on this end. Because that's the bad end. So I think what we need to do is put these end pieces in, and we'll put a piece of wire down here. Now we're going to have to cut some boards to go around the other end. We've got our boards. Here, let me put that one down there. We'll put that one up top. He's going to help me set this off now so that we can try to square this up a little bit. You ready? Bend your knees. Okay, if you'll come on this other side, outside over here, and get on this and just kind of push it in a little bit. No, like hold over here so you don't hurt your hands. Push in. Like you may have to use two. Oh, okay, no, hang on, too much. Okay, pull to you a little bit. Or come on this side and put. Okay, oh, right there, that's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to be honest, I don't really remember exactly what I left off with on the last clip, but it's been a couple days. I know I was going to get boards ready, but then it got dark, and then we had rain and storms and just everything else come up and just life in general. So we're getting started back, fixing to put the cedar siding on the two sides. Then we're going to measure and see exactly what we need for the end. It should be, I'm guessing about 35 inches to cover, because I want it to cover up the end pieces of these sideboards. Once we get that, we'll put the flooring in, and then we'll be ready to finish out the top.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't realize how much progress he'd made on this, and I was amazed when I saw it, so.
Line it up with the end. It should do pretty close right there.
Okay.
And we may see if this ends up being too much weight for this, I may end up having to put something on the side down there to make it where it doesn't just flop.
Okay, so you said they're in order from top to bottom.
Yeah, for the same width on the other side.
Okay.
Just hold it at the bottom. Very bottom. Yes. And then I will. It doesn't have to be like perfect, just so that it's against it. So I just want to measure. Like you can even stick it out. So 34 1/8.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and cut a couple.
Okay.
We may just go ahead and stick this top one up, and then we can stick the top one on. That should hold.
Okay. Yeah.
But it still needs to be 34 1/8 because that's what the base is.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put some on this side too. Can you push those back? Yeah. And then we'll fix the end up where this should sit a little better. We keep having these projects where we didn't have clamps that were big enough, so I bought some jumbo clamps. They'll clamp
I did not know.
all the way top to bottom. Okay, this should be the last one. And it's a little wide, but I wanted to cover where the other boards are just to make sure that it was good and predator proof.
Yep.
If he was really good, we could just stack all of these and clamp at once. How good are you?
I don't know that I'm all that good.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not? Let's try.
Okay. Just for kicks.
Yeah, he's gonna. Still good down there?
Yep.
Good?
Yep. 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 So far, so good.
So far, I'm out of nails.
Again.
This thing does not hold very many nails at all.
No.
It's not anything like that stapler. You
Yeah.
can staple forever with a sleeve of nails or staples.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that was quick. Like really quick.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kimberly thinks this might be enough. I'm
Let's
hoping
hope,
she's
y'all.
right. How's that down there?
Perfect.
That smaller clamp would probably be better.
So right there on that line.
That's close.
Okay. So I didn't have much more strength than me.
Probably won't put anything right there yet because I think I'm going to take a 2x4. Like how those others have a little drop down and stuff catches there.
Okay.
I think I'm going to put a 2x4 and it'll raise it up and then it'll not be something to hold junk.
Okay.
Okay, let me get a tape measure. Okay, got our boards ripped or cut. I think I'm going to have to rip one to make it line out right, but I'm just going to place them in there to check things out.
It's a good idea to do them long ways, I think.
Yeah.
Save
It's gonna
some
cut
extra
out
work.
on some of that because we'd had to put a trim piece right here to keep that, and also a piece at the back, and cut either around these or.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yep. That one last because it's got a bad edge on it if I have to trim some.
And these are still so wet. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean the boards themselves are dry. They're
Yeah.
just wet from where they got rained on and stacked. We've got most of our stacks covered, but this is the stack we've been working on, so it's uncovered.
Yeah.
We'll get a tape measure to measure that.
Okay.
4 5/8. 4 5/8.
Okay.
So I think if we do that, we can get it where it should line up pretty good.
Nice.
Okay, let's see if it will fit. It does on that end.
Perfect.
Okay, I think that, I wish I'd done that on the others now. So with any luck, these will all work out.
Let's
Which
hope.
the problem is, I used warped boards just to try to get rid of them because I figured it wouldn't matter. Okay. Then we'll flip all these up like we did before. Stand this up, and then we'll just kind of line up and eyeball how we want it. Is that board catching that end wall?
Yes.
Okay. So let's just stand it up. Try to keep it where it's at so we don't mess it up. Back. Okay, let's see if it shuts.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and then the metal will be over it, which will cover that. So,
Make it easier to.
which you can kind of see how these other boards bow too whenever it all does.
Yeah.
So, okay, we got a piece of old metal that we're going to repurpose again. Watch out, that's really
Okay.
sharp down there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm cutting
Oh,
off.
yeah, it's got that notch.
Yeah, that's where this is what we cut off for the roof of the big coop.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So it's got jagged on that end.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're gonna measure down from this end because this is the good factory cut end. I'm trying to think what we want it to. That was,
How much overhang do we have on that?
I don't know, a few inches. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe 8'5".
Sure.
Now give us a couple inches on each end, or 2.5 inches, something like that.
I want to say that's about what we did on the last one.
Or I can do 8'4".
8'5" is fine.
No, over here. Just grab one of these and then we'll. Is it good on there?
Yep.
Okay. Get them straight edge down here. Let's take this back some.
Yeah, to where it's nice and flat before we draw the line.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be nice and flat.
Close.
Huh?
Close anyway.
Here's on the line. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make it work. Yeah, I think if you line this flat piece up with the front of this, pull that forward.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, where it lines up
Yeah.
even, and then that gets that part, and then we'll
Measure each end.
yeah, and see how much we have, and then just adjust from there.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, this would be nice with a spray painted top too.
About 1 3/4 down
So
there.
it's definitely gonna need to shift this way.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. 1 3/4 plus 3 1/4, so 5, so 2 1/2.
Okay.
So it's just. Okay, hang on. Well, if you can pull, I can.
Yeah.
Too much. Okay, that'll be close, and then let's just make sure this is lined up, and then.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I think that's
fine. Yeah. Yay!
that way we don't just waste. Now the only other thing, I mean, if we wanted to, we could like come in on these ends and put
just so it doesn't buckle.
just on the 2 ends.
Yeah, maybe do that.
And that just gives us a little bit extra support.
So two more on each end, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That'll hold it.
Okay.
So now.
So we've got it set up to this point, and
we just gotta put some chickens in it.
Yeah, and eventually I need to put a board like I did the other, but we gotta have more hinges.
Yeah.
So I know we said it was gonna be the Japanese black-tailed Bantam's little breeding house, but we decided to change it to the Samanis. We've got a trio here. These are super high dollar birds and just sweet and gentle as can be. So we didn't want to put them in the coop because in order to have purebred eggs where we can hatch them out to sell the chicks and try to help pay for things, they've got to be purebred. And plus, Abby said this rooster is sweeter than Hey. So she is falling in love with him too. He's just sweet as can be, which the hens are pretty sweet too. So we're going to have them in here. We've got a little nesting box set up here. We still got to get their feeders and waters brought over here. We're going to see how they like their little house. Let's set them in there.
Let's see.
Which it may be hard to see because they're black, but...
This is so...
He's checking it out.
And we may work on something to give them a little bit more grass area later, but the way we designed this so low is the grass is mowed right now, but it won't take it long with all this rain to come up. It should grow up where it can grow through the wire, and then they'll be able to eat grass from there and bugs and things like that. Plus, it'll keep them safe from predators so that we can raise some babies to sell and hopefully help make this farm more profitable.
Yep. And how often have they been laying eggs here lately? Is it like every other day, just about?
Every couple of days. It's not quite every other day, but they just started up. We haven't had them all that long, but they just started back up. So
yeah, we were so excited. Abby found the first Samani egg just the other day, and she could hardly wait for Kevin to come home to be able to run out and tell him that they'd finally laid an egg.
Yeah, and many of y'all suggested milk crates or something else for nesting box, so we decided to. We've got a basket that's about the size of a milk crate. It might be a little bit smaller, but we decided to go ahead and take your suggestion, give it a try, see if they'll use it. And if not, then I'll end up building a nesting box. But perfect back there. And then we can put their feed up here on the wood part where if they spill it, they can still pick it up. And then we can put their water down here where if they spill it, it'll go through, water the grass. And then we can just keep their pen cleaned out, and they'll have a nice little enclosure here to stay safe from the predators and hopefully help us grow our flock. And once we get more of them brought up, because we're saving the chicks now, because we've got some I'm Smonty chicks that we hatched out of eggs, and once we get a bigger flock of them, we'll probably put them into some sort of bigger pen. But this is going to work out great for them now to keep them safe and keep it. We'll have purebred eggs.
Yep.
Or I guess purebred chicks from their eggs.
Yep. Super excited about it though. I'm just proud that we were able to get these guys that are already laying age, because that cuts down on time considerably.
Yes.
You need the name.
Yeah, but as you can see, it is getting super dark. We still got to get the feed and water for these guys. So we're going to end this one here, and we'll catch you next time on Grounds Family Farm. Bye.
Bye. Peace. Bye.
Bye, guys.